to Straight Talk. Welcome to Straight Talk. Welcome to Straight Talk. Welcome to Straight Talk.
African President of the United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
And welcome to Straight Talk. Well, Straight Talk hasn't been around for a while because, you know, the pandemic stopped everything. And I didn't want anybody to come here and say, oh, I caught, what do they call it? Coronavirus?
COVID-19.
Or COVID-19.
Yes.
COVID-19. I didn't want that, so we just closed down for that period. We had no money coming in place. All our businesses were closed. Everything was closed. And do you know, I got my friend here with me. Let me introduce him before I get into things. Brother Randrea, say something to the audience.
Something to
That's
the
enough. You said something.
Something to the audience.
Oh, something to the audience. Okay. What bothers me is the fact that some of the companies were calling people and telling them that your bill is due. Okay, you're going to pay your bill. We're going to cut you off. Did you read the news? Have you been watching the news? All of our businesses are closed down. I'm not working. I'm at home, and everybody is giving reference to that, and they're not cutting off things because of that, because they know, in fact, they're putting everything on hold until it comes back, until the businesses open back up, and everybody go back to work, and with that happening, we come to a conclusion where now we start paying our bills. Why are you messing with people? Had one guy to call me and say, well, we're just going to close you down. Close you down what? The telephone. I said, you're going to close my telephone down, you'll never get it again. You'll never have my services again. And I'm not going to pay you until sometime around July. But instead, we paid in June.
It's kind of strange and weird, WR. How is everybody laid off? Nobody has a job except the people that call you,
right,
pay your bills.
Right, and they're working from home.
Right.
Because they know how it is. They know the businesses are closed, and they're answering the telephone from home. They're answering the computer. All these people, you know, they got 2 or 3 people at home calling and making threats and all that bull junk. So,
well, you know, they just, as we was talking earlier, at the end of the day, what's at the bottom of anything to get done well, WL, people have to care. And at the end of the day, they've shown you and told you by their deeds and actions that, WL, we just don't care. And you have to show them with your money and say, you know what, when you come back up and or as I leave your business, I don't care about you either.
That's right. Absolutely right.
With all the picketing, protesting, and everything, the only real protesting, the only picketing that ever has seemed to ever do anything was that when you took some money out of somebody's pocket in America. It's never been, you know, people can take the shouting. I mean, people can take the you being mad at them, but at the end of the day, when you hit them in the pockets, that's where it hurts in America.
That's where it hurts.
Yes.
Absolutely right.
Yes, and that's pretty much why most poor people get taken advantage of, because it's not that they don't have the power, they don't know their power.
Well, see, the point is, when you say power, whenever I hear the word power, I think about the politicians in Illinois. I don't know about the rest of the country. I can't talk about New York and L.A. I can't talk about those places. I'm talking about Chicago, because this is my hometown, and I'm not satisfied with what I see. I'm not satisfied with what I see. I see people that we elected to positions to do a job for us, to serve our needs, acting as if they're running us. saying things that can't happen, shouldn't happen, doing things that they shouldn't do. I'm talking about even the governor, you know, straight on down the line. You cannot just make up a law yourself. You can't do that and say, from now on we're going to start doing this to you and that to you if you don't do this. How? I didn't authorize a referendum for. I didn't authorize a vote for that particular thing to be messed with by the government, or by the governed. We're the governed, and the politics are controlled. The politicians are really under the control of the governed. They, even on the side of a police car, you see, serve and to serve and protect. That's what their job is. That's all. Serve and protect.
You know what I've seen in Chicago politics, WL? And like I said, I don't know what happened, but we know what happens in other states and cities, but we pretty much stay particularly, like you once said a long time ago, all politics are local.
Right.
So what happens in our local politics, they don't even run on who's going to vote. They run on who isn't going to vote. And
right.
tell you what I mean by that. In an area like Roseland, where there are like 100,000 people, the Ninth Ward, where there are about 100,000 people, the alderman will win because he has 2,000 votes. That means 98,000 people didn't vote. So he doesn't worry about who votes. He only makes sure that he get 2,000 people to the poll.
Well, you're just joking when you say 100,000 people, right?
Well, I don't know. Like in Allgale Garden by itself, you got to have at least 10,000 people. In the Ninth Ward, I'm saying in the Ninth Ward.
I mean, the Ninth Ward.
So imagine how many people you got in Roseland.
I've never heard no ward that big.
Okay,
even with the projects.
Okay, with the gardens, let's say 10,000 people. What do you think the population?
10,000 would be good.
Okay,
10,000 for the ward.
Say it again.
10
you don't think it's about
15,000
10,000, close to 10,000 in Allgale by itself?
No. I say 10,000 to 10 to 15,000 in the ward.
Okay. Well, let me tell you. Let me explain this to you. In Allgale Gardens, you have 17, what they call 17 blocks. Each block has at least 1,000 people in each block. Now you do the 1,000 times 17 blocks. That's 17,000 people right there.
Yeah, that could be true. Yeah.
So, but even with that, with 20,000, let's say 20,000 votes, he wins with only 2,000
Wait a minute,
votes.
in a precinct, you're talking about a precinct or just?
No, I'm talking about in Allgale Gardens.
I see, but a precinct you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Ninth Ward, the whole Ninth Ward.
That's the ward, but then you got
The precinct. I'm talking about this whole voting, the ward that
that
would
ward
put
consists of more than one
yes,
precinct, right?
Yes. What I'm saying, that would put the alderman in office. What I'm saying is that he wins by 2,000 votes, which means most of the people didn't vote. So all he has to do is basically get his 2,000 votes together, and he wins because the other people don't. Which kind of like what would happen with Trump. Trump says, you know what? I won't win the popular vote. I will win the electoral vote because I know in some states I'm going to win because the people stayed at home. So my competitor won't win that state. Because in that state that has X amount of electoral votes or whatever, he won't win those votes because I know those people are going to stay at home.
See, it doesn't matter whether they stay at home or not. He's absolutely right. So first off, see, that's who puts the president in office, period.
That's the electoral college, yes.
Right. Now, some people are like Clinton, not Clinton, yeah, Clinton and Kennedy. They had the authority to win by themselves. When you put somebody in by Trump, like Trump, they got the electoral college set up around the country, in different areas. He's going to win the election. Mm-hmm. And see, that just, it bugs me when I hear individuals who are knowledgeable of this stuff saying over there, we got to raise money and we got to vote for Trump. We got to make sure not vote against Trump. We got to vote for whoever runs
anybody
against
runs
Trump.
against him.
Right, anybody who runs against Trump. We don't care who it is. We got to get rid of Trump. And they're invitating those people who send you all those messages on the internet saying, I know you want to make sure that Trump gets out of office, so give us a donation. And we, fool, you ain't gonna get none of my money on no junk like that. You know, I don't even know if this is a real organization called.
I don't mean to change subjects, but the only person on the internet that's going to get my money is that African guy that says he has $42 million, and that if I send him $100 or $200, he's going to share that $42 million with me because he trusts me because I'm his brother.
And you trust,
That's the only person who's going to get my money right.
And you trust him to
Yes,
give
my
you-
greed level went through the roof or whatever. So that's who'll get my money. But back to the electoral college.
You're funny.
Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm the comedic relief.
I know. But anyway, the very point that these people send you all these messages on the internet. WL, you need to.
But Joe Biden needs your help.
Yeah. Joe Biden, the party, the
party
Democratic
needs your help, yes.
Yeah. And we got to beat Trump. We got to beat Trump. They know damn well they can't beat Trump. They know better. They know what the Constitution says. The Constitution says because the American public may not be sophisticated enough to elect the right person to the office of president, we have the Electoral College to straighten it out. Nothing about if they win or if they do this. The Electoral College is going to straighten it out. If Trump lost by almost 3 million votes to Hillary, the Electoral College put him in the office.
Well, let me share something with you, WL. Like I said, it's not a fact until you guys out there do your own research. But this is the information that I received: is that when Trump was grabbing women's vaginas, and the women of America were totally mad at Trump. They were mad at him, but they weren't mad enough at him to not vote for him.
They didn't vote for him.
No.
They didn't vote for him.
Well, the statistic,
Well, maybe they did,
the
but I
statistic
don't
says that the African American women voted against Trump. The white American women all voted for Trump. African American women voted against Trump. The white women voted for Trump, and they said the reason being is that the white women didn't want a woman as president because they didn't believe that she could hold the values that the white man could hold, that type of power and control the virtues of the white woman. They didn't trust Hillary with that power.
You know what that is? Back city talking. That's
Okay.
all.
Well, let me further go to.
Because like I said,
let me-
Trump was going to be president regardless
Let-
of what.
let me
He
fur-
told
let me-
he told the people in the beginning. They telling about how he wasn't qualified and so on and so forth. He said, "Listen, let me tell you something. I can go and shoot somebody in the middle of Manhattan right now and still become the president."
Correct. Because at the end of the day, we're agreeing to disagree, but we agree. Here's the thing: is that people were afraid of not having white power in office, and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. They showed a Asian man who was getting physically abused by a white man. He was getting physically abused to the point to where people started looking very strange at the white man who was beating the Asian man. The Asian man got tired of getting beat. He fought back and went to grab the white man. Everybody got up to save the white man. Because at the end of the day, white power was being threatened, and they had an innate back belief that we must protect white power. And the same thing happened too back in the slavery days when the slave master would rape a slave. When he would leave, his wife would be mad at the black slave woman and says, "What's your problem? Why are you allowing my husband to rape you?" She believed she still had to hold up the virtues of white power. Instead of her realizing that I got an alliance with this woman.
I know a lot of them who they knew their husband was having sex with the woman, with the slave woman.
Mm-hmm.
She would go out and have sex with the man with her.
Exactly, but see the thing is that now neither the black slave or the black woman had control of their bodies.
Right.
They were all being taken advantage of, and the slave master would kill the black man, and the slave and the woman master's wife would want to kill the black woman, and neither one of them had control of their body because at the end of the day, white power was the total autonomy and authority of the day. Like I said, today, that's what I said, even poor people realize that sometimes out of instinct, we uphold the power of white America before we even think about ourselves.
Right, because everything is centered around them.
Yes.
Everything is centered around them. So we are there to help to make that center work, make that circle work.
Imagine this, WL. A lot of people don't realize this, but do your homework and find out there were slaves. First, people would believe there were slaves who loved their masters. Can you believe that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, now if you love your master,
At least they said it.
oh, so they said. Now if you love your master say, hey, you know what? They trying to take away slavery, J. Bob. What? They trying to take away slavery. These crackers and these Northerners and these Yankees trying to take away slavery. We can't have them do that, boss. What we got to do? We gonna go to war.
Now you're talking about Samuel L. Jackson.
Exactly, but I'm saying that's kind of that's how it was. Because if you love your master, you fought side by side with him during the Civil War to make sure that you stayed a slave. Because people were trying to change your way of life, and you enjoyed your way of life. You didn't know what freedom was. If freedom was a change in people, look, I'm gonna give you a song. People get ready. There's a train coming. Believe it or not, it started off there's a change coming, but people are afraid of change. People are afraid, and change doesn't have to always be bad. We're just afraid of change. When somebody says, "Hey, you know what, WL? It's time for you to leave your wife, whatever. You're not like you and her are not getting along, or whatever." And you say, "No." The song says it's cheaper to keep her because I don't know what's on the other side. I don't know what I'm gonna get if I leave her.
First off, I would be pissed off if somebody would come and tell me what I should do with my wife.
But no, I'm saying you know that you should leave your wife, but you sometimes I'm not somebody telling you.
Yeah, you said.
Well, I'm saying when not somebody telling you, know that it's sad. You and your wife are not getting along with her, but you say, you know what? You use for the sake of the kids, we're gonna stay together. No, both of you all are afraid of change. She doesn't know how her finances is gonna be. You don't know what she's gonna get in the court. Y'all, you know what she's gonna get in court. She's gonna get it all in court. So if you don't have a good lawyer, but most of the time you don't want to part with any cash, whatever. So you say, I stay together because she's gonna take me for everything.
I had no lawyer.
Say it again.
I had no lawyer at all.
WL. When we talk. You and I, we throw ourselves out the curve. We're talking about the middle ground, the people who are not informed like you are.
Okay.
Yeah, you had a whole different agenda. You have, and you look at, and like you said, when you watch television, or if you ever watch television, you're not watching for somebody to tell you what to eat, what to buy, and what to wear. You try to get information because.
But sad enough, I'm very sorry that I got a divorce.
You are?
Yeah.
But well, look into that camera right now, W. You talk to the wrong person. Look out there and tell that woman that you're very sorry.
No,
Maybe she'll take.
I'm not doing that.
You say, I'm sorry, I ain't stupid. Come on, this is the opportunity, W. Look in there and say, baby, take me back.
No, baby, let me take you back.
Well,
see, you guys got it all backwards.
However, WL, no. Hey, you the one sorry, W. You didn't say she was sorry. You said you're sorry.
Well, I said I'm sorry I got a divorce, yeah.
Okay. Well, you can be like what's his name? Elizabeth Taylor's husband, Rob Taylor. I think they got married. I think 4 or 5 times. You know, both between the two of them, they both got married like maybe 20 times in life or whatever. Mm-hmm. They married each other about 4 or 5 times. Is that time, WL?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it?
All right, let's take a break. Sell something. You know, things need to be sold in order for you to
stay on the air.
We'll be right back after these messages. Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your pet shop.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's good? What's up? What's happening today?
Let's hit those pearly whites, man.
Yeah. The boys, check it out.
Stand up, do my chair is gonna compare it. Go.
Gosh, I'm so hungry. Do you guys want some pizza?
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Stoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees.
What's it like working with your family?
Good question.
Right, great question. Original Soul Vegetarian was established over 38 years ago from our parents, so we're second generation owners.
Back then in the 80s, nobody knew what vegan looked like.
But if you say, oh, this is barbecue, they'll eat it and say, oh, it's good.
Original Soul Vegetarian has been an anchor in this community. At least 90% of our clientele aren't vegans.
It has helped the community a lot with being aware of healthy eating and healthier options.
Most of everything that we sell is sourced locally, and it's all made in-house because it's just not about food for us. Your health is your wealth. Just add something healthy to what you're eating. You're gonna feel better.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Cool.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to continue our dialogue about what is happening in our community. What is happening in our community should not happen. You've given up. You've given up your power. You have the power to do whatever you need to do as long as it's legitimate.
Well, I don't know about that, WL. Because now, who gets to decide what legitimate is in our neighborhood?
Nobody.
Exactly.
So therefore, just do whatever is necessary. If you want to start a business, start a business.
Yes.
You want to go out and sweep the streets around restaurants, make money, make the money.
You brought up the Kennedys a while back, and you brought up the Clintons or whatever. Now, I don't have the exact paperwork, or I don't have the exact factual information, but I do believe from listening that their wealth was created on illegitimate business. So always when it comes to poor people, whatever, we always have to do legitimate business. But everybody from the Kardashians to the Clintons to the El Chapos, whatever, they start off they do what they have to do to make their money and legitimize it, and then later on they use that wealth and power to buy politicians and to buy influence or whatever. And at the end of the day, they ask us to say, hey, no, you got to have legitimate business or whatever.
Well, see, the point is, what can the politicians do for them without our permission? That's the point. We got to keep that in mind. And we got to change the system. We got to change the system. We got to let folks know that, hey, before you can make a decision to sell something, before you make a decision to buy something, you got to have a referendum. That's of all the people in the city. And if the people vote for you to change, buy, or sell, then you do it. If not, you say, well, we lost that.
Well, like we said earlier, at the end of the day, most of the politicians that we know, especially in the city of Chicago, are paid by local businesses. Local businesses give to their campaigns, and the people in the neighborhood don't give to the campaign, and the politicians don't believe that the people will exercise that power.
That's how the people got away with selling the meters.
Say it again?
What you're saying. That's how they got away with selling the meters, because of that. See, Mayor Daley is a slick man. They call him slow-mo, but he's slick. He's
was
very
it
smart.
him or the people that he represented slickness? Because you remember he failed the bar exam 3 times. He wasn't smart as Daley. His brother Bill and some
but
of
he
them
still
other people.
became a lawyer.
Yeah, oh, yeah, well. But I'm saying, was it Mayor Daley? Was it Bill Daley and the machine? What they call the machine?
Cecil Partee.
Who say that again?
Cecil Partee.
So exactly.
But anyway, the point is, if we follow the Constitution, we know that all the facilities and machines in Chicago belong to us. They can't go and buy a fleet of new cars without a referendum. But they do. They do. Now, Daley would have a very good defense, because they change it around a little bit. You can say, well, I told the alderman to make sure that, you know, that everybody wants to do this sale. We're going to sell the meters and let them put their own meters in. Hell, we're going to go from paying a dime to $3 to park. That don't make any sense at all.
Well, look, like you said, the people.
And they're not coming to the city, they're going to the people who bought it.
The people don't know how to use their power. I'm going to tell you how bad it is. The people, as far as we know, the voting people are adults. These are adults. Let me tell you a story, WL. There was a TV show called Different Strokes, starring a small child named Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman was making the network and his family a large amount of money. He looked around and accidentally heard over one day that he was the one that was making the money. The checks and the money was made because if he left the show would fail and nobody would make any money. And as a child, he recognized his power. He came to work one day and said, I will not go on stage unless y'all give me a Superman outfit. And you know what they did, W? They got him a Superman outfit. But that's just a small example of that. He recognized his power. If
But
he
his power was to get more money.
well, his power was that he could. That without him, he was the engine that made things go. Like you said, the people, the basketball players, the entertainers, whatever. These are the ones people come to see. They don't come to see Jerry Reinsdorf dunk a ball
or anybody else.
They don't come to see what's the Live Nation. They don't come to see him sing on stage or whatever. They come to hear Patti LaBelle, but they get the small portion of the money, and these guys get rich or whatever, and don't realize most ball players make enough money to buy an auditorium. They can buy a theater. If that's what the owners bring to the table, is that, hey, we've got a stadium. Hey, we've got, and right now they don't even care, WL, if the seats are even if nobody sits in the seats, because they don't make their money, their big money, from attendance. They make their money from television revenue. That's why they say when they come back, we don't even need anybody in the stands. And the television revenue is shared equally around every team, so you don't even have to win a championship to be rich. But the people, I call it their cool. The people have lost their cool because they don't know that they have that cool, and that cool is what sells. But you give it away when you say, hey, you know what? I'm George Washington Carver. I just invented a paste that you can spread on bread. He's like, oh, I don't want that. And Skippy Martin and Jiffy Jones said, hey, I'll take that. So at the end of the day, the rappers and these people, they say, hey, you know what? They did that with the Native Americans. Say, hey, you know what? Do y'all own this land? He said, what is owning? He said, oh, okay. It's like have a piece of paper that shows that it's yours, like we have right here. This is a piece of paper that says we own this land. The Native Americans respected that. And that's what we do. As rappers, they say, y'all own rap? I said, no, let me show you a piece of paper. This is a trademark right here. I'm white and I own rap now. I get to tell you what to do. So at the end of the day, we don't recognize, and that's what you and I have to get across to them, W, before we can make a move and get these people to do what they're supposed to do. We have to recognize our power. We can't give our cool away. You got to recognize and stand on it. Say, hey, at the end of the day, let me tell you a story. And this is for everybody out there. There's a company called ABC. Have you ever heard of ABC Telecommunications? Okay, they have a lot of a lot of cell phone stores.
ABC?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it.
They all over the United States. But ABC stands for WL, is Arab Business Corporation. And after we get off the show, I'm going to show you something. One of the stores in Roseland was broken into during the looting, right? I thought that somebody had looted on the door. They wrote on the door, since y'all didn't show us no love, we're not going to give y'all any respect. And didn't realize that the people in the neighborhood didn't break into stores. Those were looters. So you're going to disrespect the whole neighborhood because somebody broke into your stores and you guys still shop with them? That's insane.
Where's the store located?
Right there on 113th in Michigan. When we leave tonight, I'll show it to you. They spray painted their own store that says no love, no respect. And that's a corporation that they own, the Arab Business Corporation.
Man, I did 100 miles an hour coming back to this place here on 112th when I got a call that they were tearing up the stores in the area. And I rushed down, and this street was clean. I saw Michigan Avenue was blocked by the police. And I drove up to the area just to look down and see what was happening. And I saw kids breaking the windows, and the police is holding everybody back for them.
Oh yeah, I seen the police.
I came back to my gate, and here's a guy coming down the street with an arm full of clothes and with back braid, big bags of shoes and shit on his back, and he ran back to this new car sitting in front of our driveway, opened the trunk, and put it in. Started to close the trunk. His girlfriend yelled, "Hold it!" He said, "Oh, I didn't know you were there." She come down. She had a big load of stuff. She threw it in there. They locked the trunk and went back for more.
Well, and this is a true story too, W. I've seen some people running and drop their stuff, and the police picked it up and gave it to them.
Yeah, I listen. They were at 113th. 113th. They were 113th to 112th, and they blocked everything off for them. Nobody can come through. Nobody can come back this way to let them get through looting. Then one of the kids told them, when I went back to 113th to I got through when they changed the steps from 112th out from 112th Street to 111th Street. So they had that blocked off. So I drove down and sit there for a long time and just watch the police, watch what they do. Those kids would go and they break in the front windows and break out the doors, and they stood back and watched. And then finally, I said, "Well, I got to go." So I told the officer, I said, "Would you hold the people back there so I can go make a left turn here?" He said, No, I don't want to do that. He says, go that way. I said, "That's one way." He said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "Okay." I went on down to one way to the next street, turned right, going back south. Got down to 113th, this is 112th place, 113th Street. I pulled up and stopped because cars were coming by, and I could hear him talking with the police. The police just stopped the car. Then they came on down, and went by us. I turned turned right, and went up the hill. They were at the back door of down the hill. Where the back doors are down the hill. Not up on Michigan, and when I drove down slowly and listened what they were doing and what they were saying, the guy said, "Man, this is steel. We can't get in here." "Hey, you heard the man say, let's break in. We're gonna break the steel. I don't care about no bill." And he said, "What man?" He said, "The police, fool. He just told you, don't go in." He told us when we were upstairs, don't try to get in the front door. Just go downstairs and go in from the basement, because the front door we had the big steel thing, the big steel thing, but they had to tear it up, and took too much time. So he told them to go in the basement and get it, and that's what they did.
Well,
he got that door open. Huh?
The following day, WL, police had the whole Roseland covered. There were cops everywhere. You couldn't make a move after the stores had got looted, right? And at the same time, coincidentally,
They were there while it was looted. That's what
no,
I'm saying.
no, coincidentally, they let the buses start running back down Michigan, but they had a what they call a horse blocking the street off, but they had a little inches where the bus could go through. So I saw the bus go through, so I drove through behind the bus. When I drove through behind the bus, the police officer cursed me out, called me all types of MF. He said, "You dumb MF, only buses can come through." He said, "You can't say," so he read me the riot out, he blessed me out. I looked at him, I said, "Why couldn't you have this same type of disbelief and discontent and save some of these people's stores that you having with me, because you see I'm a law-abiding citizen. You're going to push your authority on me because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm not going to jump out and do anything on you." But you said nothing when you saw people breaking the law.
What do you say?
You don't even want to know what he said, Joe. He got real urban on me. He said, "Your mama."
No kid.
I kid you not, WL.
These people don't know. They don't know how stupid that is.
Yeah. Well,
for them to take.
But at the end of the day, they do know how stupid that is, WL. But they've been. I told you this a long time ago. A story when I came on before, whatever. That there was a 5-year-old girl on the bus who cried for 35 minutes because she said her little brother got 5 and she got 1. I didn't know what the 5 was and 1, but for 35 minutes, she told her mother. Then they finally got the bus. I never found out what the 5 was, but for 35 minutes, and probably when she got home, she wasn't going to take injustice, WL. We learn to settle, and we always say things like, "That's just how it is, WL." Remember back when you used to go down south, when you're from Chicago, and you see some of your southern relatives telling you don't say nothing because when you leave, that they're gonna jump on us or something like that or whatever. You know, you come down here, they look at us as agitators because we stood up for our own rights or whatever. You know, and we got to the point to where we say that that's just how it is, and that's just what's supposed to be. That's just, you know, we supposed to be subservient. They supposed to be on top, and we'll fight to keep that status quo.
Well, see, before I came here, at the age of 11, in Memphis, Tennessee, I went down Beale Street. There was the police were standing outside. You know, the police were all white at the time, and I think right after that they got a couple of black policemen to handle the blacks. They couldn't handle anything but black. But anyway, I think they started it just before I left and come to Chicago, which was about a couple of months. But I'm walking down Beale Street, we're going to the theater, movie theater, New Daisy, the old Daisy. No, we were going to New Daisy.
Which theater were you going to?
The New Daisy.
Okay, because my mother used to go to the Orpheum.
I don't know where the Orpheum is.
Okay, the Orpheum is on Beale. It's on Beale Street too.
Oh, it's probably something lately. Back at the time when I'm talking about, they had to.
Well, my mother was, now would be like 90 years old, 80 some years old. So it was back then. It was a place called the Orpheum. But I'll tell you another story about that. Go ahead. Go ahead. You was talking about the police.
When you cut me off, I forget things.
You were coming down. You were going to the theater, the New Day Theater.
Yeah, New Daisy. And on the way, they had the streets. The sidewalk was full of policemen and people standing around looking. And I walked up and I looked too, and started to go through. By this time, a black guy come up, went through one of the police. What's wrong, boss? In, kill another in?
He said what?
In, kill another in. He didn't say in. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I said, why would he call? Why would he say that? I said, man, I'm disgusted. That's why I was ready to come to Chicago.
Well, see, at the end of the day, see, a lot of times like that is that.
But this guy cussed him out. This policeman cussed him. What do you? Get away from here. Go get. And drew his nightstick back, and he, yes, boss, yes, boss.
Yeah, it was like when we thought step and fetch it was a good thing.
Yeah, I didn't. I never.
But see, I'm telling you, W, you got to throw yourself out of the equation. You know, when they have school or whatever, they always say, hey, you know what? Throw away the A students, throw away the F students or whatever. We want to deal with the middle. So that's pretty much the way people are. When you say something, whatever you say.
First off, this school don't mean anything.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the school, but what I'm saying is that the middle people are what they call the sheeple. At the end of the day, that's when they watch the television. They say they're doing a commercial to influence not you and I, WL. It's those who will be influenced, and there's a lot of them, WL.
See, if people would do the right thing, they would train their baby, start training them in the belly, and continue training them as he wake up. And when he starts talking, he's smart. You could do anything anybody else do. You know, I did that myself. You know, I did that myself. And at the age of 3, I was able to do everything.
Every now and then you get an outstanding individual, but the majority of people is that I can't teach my baby, or not willing to have an attitude that I don't even have. You know, basically it's that I'm pretty much messed up. You know, the movie, what was it, The 5 Heartbeats? When the father looked at the son and said, "Son, I ain't nothing, and you ain't gonna never be nothing."
Yeah.
And pretty much that's the way. And the thing, and on the other hand, or whatever, whether it's money, whatever, say I'm something, and I'm gonna teach you to be something.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, now it's not. I'm gonna tell you who I blame. I blame me, myself, you, Oprah Winfrey, and Bill Cosby, because we should spend more of our time trying to uplift. I mean, we're doing it through television, but we need to people of poorness or whatever. That you have to grab them by the hand. You can't get them a platitude and say, "Be cool, stay in school," or politicians, they're your politicians, you had a power. Whatever. They need you to grab them and show them this. That's kind of like the people that made it out of the neighborhood. They need our shoulders to stand on.
But see, I didn't go to school in Memphis.
You was one in a million, W. We know you.
Because wait, when I went to school at 6 years old, I went to meet my teacher, the man who was going to teach me show me what part of this world I'm going to help control. And this teacher was there, drawing little letters on the table, talking about this is A, B, C, D. And I said, "What is this woman talking about?" I said, "Where's my teacher? Where's the male is supposed to be teaching me my thing, letting me know what's happening with the world." And finally, after we went to lunch and stuff and come back, I raised my hand. She said, "The next bell you hear will be a warning. So I want you to stand up and line up along the wall. Then you hear 2 bells, ding, ding. March out and meet your people, and I'll see you tomorrow." I said, "Yes, can I help you?" I said, "When am I going to be my teacher?" She said, "Where have you been all day, boy? My name is..." I said, wait, I know your name, miss. I told her name, but she wrote it anyway on the board. And I said, "I've been here all day too." And I said, I said, "I didn't even go to the lunchroom, remember?" I said, "When you told the people to follow the yellow line to the lunchroom and follow the yellow line back when you're finished. But if you got your lunch with you, you can sit here and eat." I had I think an oatmeal sandwich or something with something in it, and I had one of the kids would bring me a chocolate milk, and he did. He brought me the chocolate milk, and so I told the teacher, I said, "I was here all day. I didn't even go to lunch. Remember, I sit right here." And somebody brought me my chocolate milk, and I ate my oatmeal cookie, and now I just want to know where my teacher is. I kept saying, my teacher. He didn't show up. He did not show up at all. She said, "Get your ass up against that wall." I didn't go along the wall. I got up against the wall, like she said. But I know they beat you down there. So I went home, told my grandma. She said, "How'd you like school?" I said, "I didn't like it." She said, What do you mean?" I said, "I don't want to go to that school. I don't want to go to school." She said, "You got a mind, son. Don't let nobody take it away from you." I said, "Okay, let me go to work with you." She said, "Okay." Every morning, we would take a streetcar downtown to downtown Memphis, go to the bus station. At the bus station, they got trucks and, buses, yellow buses, all around the place. We're taking people from Memphis to either across the bridge to Mississippi or across the bridge to Arkansas. So every day we went to Mississippi. It's one place. Because it was a big place, but then they had other little places next to it. So I got out there, I saw all these palaces, people putting their bags down and walk to go get water. And that evening, this one guy come back to the bus and he said, "Man," he said, "this is my last week of working in the field. I've been here, at the end of this week, I'll be here a month. I haven't made $3 yet." He said, "Now that's a shame I can't make $3 a day, all this hard work I'm doing." And I thought then, I said, wow, I saw this guy set his bag down at least 4 or 5 times to walk way across the field to get water. So he can't, so I said, okay. So I asked the bus driver, "Can I bring my wagon, my little red wagon with me to school?" He said, "Yeah, boy, but push it under the seat. Don't let nobody fall over it." I said, "Okay. You need something to play with." I said, "Okay, play." I put that wagon under the seat. When I came the next day, and I took it out, and I said, "Okay, I'm going to play." Went to the water fountain and let it be known. I said, "Tell everybody, I'm bringing water to them. They could, how much you selling it for?" I said, "Whatever they want to give me. I'm just helping them out with the water." I said, "Okay." So they told him, and I poured water through the field all day. That evening, the same guy who said he was leaving, he come running down the field at the end of the day. He said, "Yeah, that little old boy brought me water all day long, and I made $3.25 a day. He said, I ain't worried about nothing now. I ain't worried about nothing." I said, he said, "I made $3.25, and next week I'm gonna make more, 'cause I didn't have to go walk for water." So I said, "Now this fool gave me, I think, about 30 cents for water. Now he got $3.25. He didn't make that much money. He made $2.90. So 95 cents. But anyway, he stayed there. He made more money because I brought him water every day, and I worked my ass off, man, for about 3 or 4 months. But the killing part, he told me he made $3.25. You know how much I made?
How much?
$18.
Wow.
And that was a lot of money back in those days. So he said, after they finished, after about 4 months into it, I said, "Hey man, I'm tired now." And I asked some of the people, I said, "Don't you people have children that could pull wagons?" "Yeah." I said, "Well, bring them. Let me put them to work. Make some money." "Oh, that was so nice of you." So they brought me 7 boys and 2 girls. And they pulled, I filled up their buckets. I said, "When you run out, just come back and fill up the bucket yourself." "How much do we charge them?" I said, "Don't charge them anything. Just tell them you're giving them some water, and you can pay me. You can pay me what you can pay me, what you can afford." "Oh, okay." So that's what they did. The guy was 13 years old, the biggest money maker that particular day. He made about $20-some, $22, $23, $24 what he made. So we split $12 a piece. They said, "How we gonna?" I said, "Whatever you guys make, we just split halfway." So he gave me his 12, and everybody gave me their money, But he made the most money. And
no, you made the most money.
I'm talking about up at Pickers.
Oh, the Pickers, yes.
I did pick too. I carried water too.
You did a Jerry Reinsdorf and what's his name at Motown or whatever. You did a Barry Gordy or whatever. You said, "Hey, you know what? Y'all tired of making this little $3 on the field and not getting paid with this person. Look, let me get you some water. Buy my water. Now you're gonna make $4 on the field, but when it's all said and done, I'm gonna have everybody's money."
Who was this?
You. That was you.
Oh.
You told it. You became. Look, they was really saying that they was tired of working the fields, and at the end of the day, they wanted to make more money. You was like, "Well, I'll tell you what. You won't make more money, but you won't have to worry about going to get water." But the only person who was getting rich was you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
you're a capitalist.
That's what,
capital C.
I was just showing. I've been an entrepreneur
ever since,
all my life, just about.
Yes.
And,
so as I said, we don't put you in the equation with the rest of the people, or whatever, because you're on a whole another agenda. The fact that you're sitting here today, or whatever. So the thing is that what we're saying is that what you have and what you know and everything. Like I said, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. So you can talk all day over their heads. You can proliferate and degenerate and all type of emancipation and escalation and all trying to gentrify, whatever. But until you can come down, people say, you know what? I heard him, and he sounded like he cared. He said, you know
but
what?
the killing part is that big kid that made the $24 the first day. His daddy come to the field. I heard him calling. Where's the little old boy? He pointed to me over by the water. And he started that way, and he got over to the water. I said to myself, I said, okay. He figured out I don't own the wagon. He brought his own wagon. Only thing I own is the fact that I'm getting the money.
Right.
So I said, if he wanted money, I give him his money back. It's $14 back. So he made $28. I had $14. And he said, he got over. He said, where's the little old boy? There you, sir. And as he was walking over, I started getting up. By the time I got up, he was standing up there over me, grabbed me around and picked me up. You're a little genius.
But you know, some people would be upset with you, WL, because of the amount of money you made, and didn't realize that you made this money because of your cunningness. But the master who's paying you $3, that's the person that's getting over on you, not WL. Because look, I remember I heard this one time that this lady came and told Reverend Ike and said, Reverend Ike, you got all these cars, you got all these houses, this money, these jewelry and everything. He said, Reverend Ike, all I have is a bicycle. And he said, if I gave up everything I had, miss, you know what? You'll still just have a bicycle.
But these guys out there playing, man, because this grown man said, now his son had $14. He said, my son made more than I made in any 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. More than I made in any 2 weeks.
That should have gave him enough sense to say, now I should go to master and say, at the person who owns the thing, and say, look, I'm doing most of the work or whatever. Why I'm only getting $3? It dawned on his mind to say that at the end of the day, his son and you recognize that, hey, you know what? We can be our own boss. You could be your own boss too, Daddy.
That's right.
If this little boy right here, he's a genius, yeah, but you're a genius too, Daddy. If you
recognize it.
Exactly. If you recognize it. And that's what we was talking about earlier. I said, W, we have to. It's you, me, the Tyler Perry's, whatever. We have to help recognize these people, recognize their genius. What they cool is.
It's not really genius. It's just
cool.
you have everything embedded in you.
Invested in yourself, right? We have to recognize that it's what's it called? I had a song a while back. Shaka Khan said, "I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I can do it naturally." You know, but these are the things that we lose sight of that because of television said, because of this other person who I respect as an athlete says, look at this, W. Let me ask you this, W. Why is it that in poor people, all the poor people's leaders are entertainers, athletes, Kardashians, whatever? These are people, I'm not saying they shuckle and jab and shuffle. But to white people and to the system, they clowns. Why our leaders are the clowns and everybody else's leader are politicians and people of learned information.
Somehow, you're right.
Somewhat.
Some are like that.
But I'm saying other African nationalities, they don't let the entertainers become the voice of their race. The entertainers not the voice of their race. Their voice of their race are they put their money in their politicians. Say, hey, you're gonna do what I tell you to do. You're gonna put that referendum. They don't let Michael Jordan say.
We're gonna close out, and I'm gonna tell you something about that. We are very proud to have you sitting watching us for an hour talk about what is right for the city and what is right for our society and what is wrong for our society. We're going to continue that until we all get our heads screwed on properly, our brains screwed in properly, because we have the power that we are not using whatsoever. We let people tell us, and I hear it on radio sometimes, on black radio, well, in Chicago, we're only about 25% of the population. I said, where do you get some stupid stuff like that from? All the people, they moved out to the suburbs and they moved here and there, out of the state. I said, somebody told you that and you're spreading it around and got people believing that we're only 25%. We're not the majority anymore. That is stupid. We better get our game together, get our brains screwed in properly. Good night. We'll see you this time again tomorrow.